All right, guys. Randy Hobson here with Bob Cormack of No Dents in Burton, Michigan, outside of Flint, the place that's known for its water. All right, Bob. Guess what?
All right, what?
You've agreed to answer questions off the hip.
Yes, sir.
Is that right off the hip?
Yep, right off the hip again.
That's kind of the style you are.
Yep.
You pretty much go nonstop. You're 90 miles an hour all the time.
Yes, sir.
And you've got a great business built up here. But tell us a little bit about, real quick, of how you got started in the paintless dent repair.
29 years now. It's my 29th season. I was working as a line mechanic down in Nissan in Florida, down in Orlando, and a hailstorm came through Orlando. And at the time, my former brother-in-law was doing window glass. He learned PDR. I learned from him. A couple years later, moved from Florida up to Michigan, chased hail for 7-8 years, and then began my local business in the Flint area. We've got several auction houses, a lot of body shops, a lot of dealerships, and the truck plants in town. So built a local accounts, retail slightly, and then finally realized it was time to get a shop. And 10 years ago, I got a shop, and 5 years in one, 5 years in this bigger shop now, and here we sit.
Tell us about your shop real quick.
Shop that I have now, it was formerly a embroidery shop where I got a lot of my shirt work done. And gentleman I know personally also, he had said, came over to the small shop, he said, you need a bigger shop. And I said, well, yeah, I know that, but he said, come see the shop. So I come over with a different view of it. Instead of just doing business in the embroidery side of it for my uniforms, I came in looking at what could I do with the shop, and realized I could put 7 or 8 cars inside and have a nice office area, and it really worked out nice.
Okay, so you've agreed to answer questions off the cuff. First question is going to be pretty easy because it's what's happening today. This hailstorm you're on, big hailstorm came through. How long ago was that?
Back the last week of July, I believe it was, so about 8-10 weeks now.
This is a monster storm. There's a lot of huge damage here.
Yeah, not a big area as far as size of the location, but it came through what would be my former hometown, the dealerships I service, and several of the body shops in this area that I service regularly. And the size of the damage, it was, as we would commonly say, that's Texas size hail. It's big stuff. And it was on a day that was kind of cool, and not the typical hailstorm day, and all of a sudden comes through, and boy, seeing some of the devastating damage, the dealerships losing 400-600 cars, real bad. But in every storm, there's always the bad or the good, and you just gotta find it.
Right.
And having my shop here and being established in this area really has shown why we do what we do. Jumping for the body shops, jumping for the retail, all of a sudden it comes back around that we're the only shop in this general area, and we were the go-to. So it really has been quite a blessing, even though it was pretty scary at first look.
So let's talk about finding techs this year. How's that been for you?
That was, as everybody knows in the industry, this has been a crazy year. First thing right out of the gate, I knew I was going to get my share from the body shops and my retail presence, but we have a lot of holding lots for Canadian cars here. And I was blessed enough to be able to land a deal with 300 cars and no technicians. So it worked out pretty well for a second. We were able to establish tents being put up in 2 days' time. We had 2 tents put up, and I had a guarantee of 1 tech, and then there was another guy, and everybody's hometowns were getting hit. And it took me about 2 weeks to get 5 guys in there, plus an R&I guy. But once we got it going, we were very blessed on that situation, but finding guys, then I had to establish people for my own shop. So it became a little bit hairy.
It's been a chore all year, you're right.
Yes, it has.
Okay, question 2. What's been the number one thing you've learned this season?
And first thing, make sure you have a good network of techs, because they're always going to be busy. If they're good, they're going to be busy somewhere or in demand. And the second thing really with this storm hitting home, you're never 100% prepared. You don't have enough key tags, you don't have enough keyboards, you don't have enough process proceed. Get prepared, and then know that you can only do what you can do. If it comes into the shop, you've got to be able to do it because you brought it in. But you can't do it all, so you can only do what's in front of you at that time, handle what you can, don't light a fire, and we just remember it's not an emergency. It's just a dented car. We all know we can fix it, and you can't go any faster or any slower. Just fix the car.
Okay, question number 3. Your biggest obstacle you've had?
Biggest obstacle this year with this storm has definitely been a blessing, and the other side of it. Because I've been in this area for so many years, I've got such relationships, not only business personal, but some personal relationships with owners of the dealers and the body shops. It's really hard to not continue that relationship, and they want their cars done. And I tell them no cars this week, and then all of a sudden there's 10 cars from a body shop out in the middle of the parking lot. And pretty devastating damage. You have these partials sitting out there, broke windshields that have been brought over by the dealers, and you're telling customers you can't fix them, but here they sit in the driveway. And trying to balance out the retail market, my regular door dent stuff that comes in regularly, my wholesale auction deals, and this type of hailstorm has been it's been a juggle. It's been tough.
You did hail, you traveled doing hail,
Yep.
and you've had a retail location. Which one's harder?
I was younger, and the industry was different back when I chased. I have done several storms out of my area, but when I chased, it was different. It was real cutthroat. I know we still have situations now, but that was a long time ago. Retail, I think, is more rewarding because you get to do a great repair on something, and then you get to give it back to the customer, not behind the scenes as far as the body shop doing it or anything like that. You get to deliver it back, and they get to be appreciating it. You get to see that love for their car restored because you fixed something. And that's the biggest reward, I think, dealing with the customers when you are able to save something that they were concerned about.
How about the future of PDR and retail locations? What would you say to a technician that's been in the industry, whether he's working for somebody's route and he has those dreams of having a retail location? What would you tell them?
Well, first thing is, just like with chasing, location. You've got to have a shop that is in an area that, one, will support it, and two, that is going to get the presence and the type of work you want. I think retail shops are the way to go. Brick and mortar is definitely the movement. I've been in one 10 years, and I feel like it had just started then. But now you hear a lot more shops popping up, and that's good. That's better. The more exposure to our industry with shops, the more people are going to understand what we do. This storm is going to increase my door dent location tenfold because now I'm seeing customers and we're relevant. People didn't know about PDR in this area that had never been hit with a hailstorm. So it was a big plus.
Okay. Favorite band?
Oh man, I don't know. Depends on what you're looking. Genre, Aerosmith type of thing. This year, probably the best concert I saw someone was Jelly Roll. So a lot there. I like some country music. No one favorite. I can listen to music any type as long as it's not awful, not screaming.
All right. Favorite fast food?
Man, Big John's, probably a sub from around here, a local steak and cheese sub shop.
Okay. Favorite food?
Food, pizza. That's easy. That's the easy one.
Favorite place you've ever been?
I went to Germany and worked one time. That was pretty cool, but I wouldn't say favorite, but probably the best thing I've ever done as far as travel. Favorite place though, hands down, the beach. Hands down, Florida and the beach.
Which side?
I really like the west side. It's hard to beat it.
That's the old guy side.
Yeah, but that's the sunset side.
I love that side, by the way.
When I was down in Florida, living down there, I'd go Cocoa Beach, east side. But now Clearwater Beach is just something about it.
Yes, I got married on St. Pete Beach.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I love that side.
We get to go down to Clearwater quite a bit, so that's fun.
Beautiful area.
I love it, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite time in your life? Which time in your life brought you the most happiness?
Wow. Unfortunately, recently had a divorce. Really times watching my son growing up and all that, and that's a tough time now because there's a little bit of tensions there. But probably through my son's middle age, growing up and just when family was good and stuff. But right now is not bad. I'm on the other side of it. Things have changed in my life, but I can also say with the gray hair, I can start to see an end. I don't know when it is, probably another 10 years or whenever, but I think right now is pretty good. I'm having a nice time. I'm
Good.
blessed and it's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bob, thank you so much. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. This is cool. This is pretty cool.
I absolutely love just going place to place and doing
Awesome.
this and kind of get to know people and their,
Excellent.
what they've accomplished and just their shop and, so forth. So I appreciate
I've been very blessed. God's been good to me. One last thing, I guess, just want to bring to everybody's mind, their thought process. We tend to think that we're the dent guy or we're the businessman or whatever we think we are. We're out there sacrificing and doing this on the road or we're spending time in our business. We tend to forget about balance, and I'm very guilty of that over the years, to the point that it was a fault in my relationships. One thing, just make sure you pull your balance together. If you have children, a wife, a significant other, make sure you remember that they're the most important thing. My son and I don't have the best relationship right now. I just had a divorce, and every morning when I come in, I've got this cube on my desk. It's just got some random pictures. We made this for my mother years ago when she was alive, and every morning I come in and I just walk to the desk, and my son and I's relationship isn't that great right now, but I get to at least get to hear his voice every day. I love you. And I ask much more of him than I should have growing up, and I lost the balance with things. But if there's anything I can say, we've got a great opportunity to make a really good living and take care of things. First and foremost, take care of your friends, take care of your family, take care of yourself, but get that balance, find it, and things are much easier when it's in check. I learned the hard way. I hope everybody else doesn't have to learn the hard way, but keep the balance.